Basically, the way the first fruits got started was that and everything that I preach in my church comes from my own personal study. So I was having a conversation with God, and I said, Lord, personally, my wife and I are returning tithes. We've been faithful tithe payers for years. We've been, giving on top of that to everything that you ask us to. Why aren't we being blessed financially more? And God led me to Proverbs 3, verses 9 and 10, which says, honor the Lord with your first fruits. Then will your barns be filled with plenty, and your vats will pour forth with new wine. Well, God started to enlighten me to that and show me that tithing is not really true tithing unless it's the first 10%, not just any 10%. So I got a hold of that, brought it back to my congregation, shared it with them, and immediately people all over the congregation related to it and started to do that. And we have seen an increase financially in our tithing. We've seen people in our church be blessed financially. It's been truly an incredible experience. One of the things that you'd see is a central focus of the 11 o'clock or the worship service is our part of first fruits giving. And it usually takes about 15 minutes in which I talk to the people and share with them what God is saying from His Word about giving, share a testimony about somebody that has been blessed from first fruits giving, and then we give them the opportunity. We do not pass a plate. We basically have made a decision in our church here that we're going to follow biblical examples, not tradition, in how we do our service. So one of the things that we do is we have people, as it says in Leviticus, bring their offerings forward to the priest. And I stand in front of the congregation, have a basket, and people bring their first fruits offerings forward. The music is playing, and people from all over the congregation come forward, and they stay up front if they're bringing their first fruits. And we make that confession, and we read it off of the screen, which will be behind me. And then the people, and I also invite the other part of the congregation, the people who return first fruits, but this didn't happen to be the Sabbath that they had a first fruits offering, they stand all over the congregation and make the confession with us too. Declaration is basically, I'll give you the synopsis version. I was a sinner serving Satan. I made Jesus Christ my Lord. Therefore, I've been translated out of the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of His dear Son. And now, Father, because you have saved me, I worship you with my first fruits. Our tithe was up about 80+% last year. The people themselves individually have been blessed financially, physically, relationally. It's been an amazing, each one has a little different story to tell of how it's blessed them.
And I have been taught so much, especially about first fruits. And as I have been giving my tithes and offerings, the first fruits of my income, I have been abundantly blessed. God has paid my taxes on my house miraculously. He has supplied all of my needs, and He has not left me with anything that I need to worry about.
First fruits have become primary in our lives, just like everyone else who's coming here. You see a difference the moment you start to believe and you start to understand what first fruits is all about. We have been blessed tremendously since we started following that teaching and understanding and learning more about it.
First of all, I want to say that blessings come in many different ways, sometimes financially and sometimes otherwise. And one of the blessings that I received, to me, is just remarkable and so incredible, is the fact that my son was struggling in school, Peter. And as I started to be more obedient to God, and to tithe and return my first fruit and my offering, my son became also blessed. And he is now on honor roll, and he is doing excellent in school. And money cannot buy that. And so I just wanted to share that with you.
The conference is very happy with what's happening with our first fruits, simply because our tithe increase has been so great for them. And of course, that was one of the major concerns with the Florida conference, was tithe was down, but last year we were able to get it up. The advice that I would give to anybody is that if you choose to do it as a pastor, you must practice it yourself and get the blessings flowing in your life so that then you can share it with your congregation.